That was really nice. That was really sweet. And I don't know where you guys were in sound check, but I wasn't feeling it at sound check. I felt that. There was love present in the song. There was love present in the notes, love present in the words. How would it be if we were to live our lives and contextualize our life, that our only job on the planet was to look for love? That everywhere we were, no matter what we were experiencing, that our job was to find the face of love, the face of God. And that we have the eyes and the ears and the soul such that we seek that out, even when it is difficult. How would your life be different? I believe that all the stuff that we talk about would no longer really even be necessary, because we would be vibrating already at the place of God. We've been spending a lot of time over the last few weeks talking about some really interesting and profound concepts from Socrates. And it's often important, most Unity churches do this. There's at least one Sunday at the beginning of the year where we just review the basic concepts of what Unity is all about. This is going to be that Sunday. We've gone 1,000 different places, 1,000 different directions, and explored different things, and even challenged some of the basic Unity tenets. But today, we're going to come back home, and we're going to ground a little bit in what the Fillmores have said is these are the basic principles of everything that we do. No matter how far we roam home, we're going to come back to center and back to these principles that are germane to basically all religious paths. But they're foundational. We often say that, we have no dogma in Unity, and we don't have dogma. But we do have rocks that we hold on to when the storm hits and things get difficult. There are go-tos. So, one of those is to look for love even when it gets difficult. Today's talk is called the elevator speech. And we can have the greatest intention for love. We can have the greatest intention that when the storms of life hit, or we feel that we are being accosted or attacked by somebody, that we're going to be the presence of love, but it doesn't always end up that way. I would like to begin the talk with this piece called the elevator speech.
Okay, elevator. You and I, we're one. I'm taking you today. No more of this fear stuff. It's just like they said in the class today, Lisa. You are the face of God. He holds you in his arms. No more stairs. Taking the elevator, I'm seeing it, just like we talked about. I'm visualizing exactly what I want to happen. I am seeing myself getting in the elevator. It's nice and spacious. It's not bumpy, no weird stuff happening. I go all the way to the very top of this very high building. Oh, God, why'd I have to pick? Oh, God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry.
Should I call you a doctor?
Yeah, no, thank you.
Perhaps you're suffering from the vapors.
No. Thank you, sir. I'm fine. I'm just a little nervous of elevators, and my spiritual practice tells me that I need to face my fears, that fear is an illusion, and anyways.
Well, you needn't be facing the fear of the elevator because you haven't called it yet.
Oh, right. Thank you.
And here it is.
Okay, right, here we go. Oh, it's one of those glass elevators. Great.
Yes.
Okay.
What floor?
Oh, right. The very, very, very top floor.
The top floor?
Going, yeah.
That's up here. I'm on 20. By the way, my name is Edward. Oh, and I'm here for a rally for Jesus.
Oh, right. Yeah, I saw that you guys were here. Cool. Go Jesus. Yeah, it's great.
And what brings you here?
Oh, yeah, I'm here for a Unity conference.
Unity? Is that some form of a retirement home?
No, actually, it's my church. It's a spiritual tradition, kind of a religion, but maybe not. It's kind of hard to explain.
Well, I belong.
But it's cool. It's great.
I belong to a church called the Echo Church. Perhaps you've heard of us. The extreme conservative, holy Orthodox Christian church.
Wow.
We pray for sinners all day long.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's deep. Okay. Cool.
So tell me, this Unity, what do you believe in?
Oh, you know what? It's a really cool, awesome place. Yeah, well, we believe in love. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like love, a lot of love, peace, loving each other.
Well, tell me, what about sin?
A lot of stuff.
What about sin?
Oh, sin. Well, that's not really probably top of mind for most of us, but I know there is something.
A church that doesn't
about it.
believe in sin?
Well, I mean, it's not that we don't believe it. We don't tell people what to believe. I don't know.
Well, tell me, what about the Bible?
Yes, actually, we do like the Bible, but other books as well.
And how about the devil?
Wow, gosh, went right to that. You know what?
How about hell?
And hell, right? That's sure to follow. Yes. You know what I'm thinking? I actually have this great little, this kind of like little cheat sheets, little bookmark thing they sell in our bookstore.
You don't know what you believe in?
Well,
I know what I believe in. I have it committed to memory. I believe in God, and I can back everything up with a Bible verse.
And I'm sure you can, sir. I'm sure you can. Just give me a 1 second, because actually I think you would really appreciate this this movement. It's like really neat, good stuff. You ought to
know in your heart and your head exactly what you believe.
Well, I kind of do. It's just that give me 1 second. It's just the way that they write it is so perfect that I don't want to mess it up. And
I have mine committed to memory.
These crystals. Maybe it's in this front. I'm sorry. Just 1 sec, sir. I think you'll find this really neat. If I can just 1 sec.
Look, ma'am, I understand that you really don't know. I'd be happy to help you here, but I know exactly what you need. And that is, I have been saved. I have been redeemed. What about you?
I guess not. I don't know. Let me just find this card, because it's going to be good when I find that card.
That's all right, ma'am, because I believe I was just redeemed again. This is my floor.
No, wait.
I hope you find your card.
Wait a minute.
In the meantime, I will play for your mortal soul.
No, don't do that. Just give me 1 second. Just
Onward, Christian soldiers.
Ed! Dang it. Oh, wow, I made it to the top without dying. Oh, I know what I believe. Dang it.
I know what I believe. Give him some love.
Thank you. Woo! And this guy! Thanks. Yes, we'll take our bow. We'll take our bow. We'll take our bow. We'll take our bow. Okay, thank you.
You know, if you ever want to see a minister sweat, tell Ray Hughes and Lisa Vale that it's okay to ad-lib. Bravo, beautiful job. How many of you have ever been there? Here we are in the midst of East Cobb, and we have a beautiful, magnificent thing called unity that we celebrate, that we talk about. And then we're on an elevator, or we're at work, or we're sitting in a restaurant, and all of a sudden, somebody's asking us to come up with the words of what it is we truly believe. And that can be very difficult from our standpoint. You know, we paint with a very broad paintbrush. Have you noticed that? And our paintbrush encompasses all the paths to God. And we're finding our way home different ways up the mountain. We talk about different paths and they intersect, and that's great and wonderful. But when the storms of life hit, and then somebody is asking you to clearly talk about the basic principles of what we are about, we find ourselves wanting. And we fumble. Well, it's a lot of love, and that is absolutely true. There's a lot of love here. But there is no clear definition about what unity is about when we say that. Well, it's peaceful. Yeah, we are peace-loving people, and that's a beautiful thing too. Yet we've missed an opportunity to build a bridge. Our job as unity people is to build a bridge of understanding. And so when we are accosted, if you will, by somebody who knows their religious path so well that chapter and verse they can come after you. In fact, they are trained to do so. One message, one clear message, and they're coming after you. We have to first and foremost examine what is the mindset by which I am receiving that. You see, I'm not going to put the responsibility on the Orthodox Christian who cares so much about your very soul that they are willing to get into a dialogue and to ask us for that clarity. And so many of us in the New Thought metaphysical movements say they're the bad guy in the situation. They made me uncomfortable. Well, the reality is nobody can make you anything. Nobody can make you uncomfortable. But one question can certainly expose that there is a lack of depth, a lack of knowledge with what is vitally important to the broad paintbrush. The fibers of that paintbrush are absolutely there. And we need to first and foremost examine how I have made an enemy. We teach unity, and then we get into these situations, and our mind says, somebody's against me. Guess where the cleanup work needs to happen? It needs to happen first in my own consciousness before I ever try to respond, because it is a house built upon sand. If I am responding from a consciousness that this person is against me, rather than this person cares so deeply about my soul, I am not testifying very well to unity. I have said there is an other. An other will absolutely be clear demonstration of what we teach here, other than the words that you're about to speak. Talk is cheap. We've been talking about that with the last 4 weeks. Is show me the money. Show me the evidence of your life. So first and foremost, before my mouth ever opens, I'm getting right with my heart. You see, every interaction on an elevator, you have 5 floors where somebody actually sincerely wants to know what it is you believe. And if we can't come up with the words in quick, concise manner, then it is exposing something that needs to be looked at, which is why we review the 5 basic principles of unity. But make no mistake about it, we are called to be a bridge builder. Is it possible to, in short, concise statements, build a bridge of understanding between you and somebody of a different faith? And what happens so many times is we think, I have to give a sermon. Well, first of all, that's my job to talk for 40 minutes. No, don't panic. From floor 1 to floor 5 or floor 20, you've got a quick moment to convey something vitally important, something that I hope you're here because it has transformed your life. It has changed your life in a positive way. But what we do is we begin to fumble, thinking, I need to be so profound, so intellectual, and so complex in these messages that I stutter, I fumble, and then I go my go-to. I've got to find a card. Let me tell you, if your religious system has to be found on a card in your purse or in your wallet, there's a greater problem happening. I'm asking you to commit to every cell of your being the 5 basic principles that we are going to talk about today. They are very, very simple, but they can be phrased in such a way that somebody from an Orthodox religion or somebody of no religion at all can be connected to you at a place of your heart. So if there's a wall going up, guess where the wall begins and ends? In my consciousness. The wall between me and any human being, atheist, Buddhist, Christianist, Islamic, Muslim, Christian, the only wall that can be built is the one that I allow to be built. And so my response needs to be avoiding debate at all costs. And how we respond to those people will either cause debate or cause a moment of connection, of commonality. That can be challenging. Unity means so many different things to all of us here. As many people, there could be 300 people in the room and there'll be 301 opinions about what unity is all about. And I'm not asking you to contextualize what unity is about from anybody else's lens but your own. And then these 5 basic principles that I'm going to actually ask you to put your hand up and to remember them. Now, when you're in an elevator, I don't recommend you go, okay, 1, 2, but that you have those fingers as benchmarks, as touchstones about what is vitally important. Unity has no dogma, right? No, we have our principles. I'm going to give them to you right now. Hold up one finger. There is one power and there's one presence. Say that with me. Now, you don't need a dissertation to say that. We believe in oneness. Plain and simple. You can put your finger down. Quit giving me the finger. But we go on as ministers, and I have done it myself. I've been guilty. There's one power, there's one presence. And everything we see, feel, touch, and experience is that one essence. In fact, it's all God. Uh-oh, we've crossed a line. I get so complex in my language that now the person who's saying, I don't quite understand because it's out of alignment with my message and my belief system. I don't know any of the Abrahamic traditions that if you said we believe in one God, you're going to find connection with a Jew immediately. We believe in one God and one energy and one source. You're going to find a connection with the Muslim. And certainly if you believe in the power of this divine one goodness, you're going to find a connection with any Christian. And if you actually talk to a Hindu and a Buddhist, you can eventually, with one God, it's a little bit less confrontational, but get to the idea that there is also one source and one power and one energy showing up as many, many different deities, many different faces. But the first thing, what does unity teach? The go-to, one power and one presence. Then we have two fingers. That God is expressed as all creation. Everything is one. Now, you want to get more complex? You can say, God and I are one. You and I are one. You and God are one. But these two fingers are intrinsically connected. I'd like to use the words, God is expressing at the point of all creation. I've very rarely had an argument come to me on an elevator when I can say that. So, one power, one presence, and that essence is everywhere at the same time as oneness. And you've got three fingers. Three fingers. I want you to commit this to memory. My thoughts, my feelings, and my belief system create. Say that with me. My thoughts, my feelings, my belief system creates. How do I find love? How do I find the face of God? Through my thoughts, through my feelings, and through my belief system. You see, every Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, we're looking for the face of God, the face of love. Different words for the same thing. It's taking personal responsibility. I've never met a religious person on an elevator or elsewhere that would not find a place of building a bridge of agreement that when you say, I am responsible because my thoughts are in alignment with God. Unity teaches that my thoughts and my feelings and my belief system is aligned with the only power on the universe. The less you say, the better the conversation is going to go. And let me tell you what we often don't do, and you saw it in the elevator speech skit here. Lisa did not ask any questions back in return. Did you notice that? We've just finished a series on the Socratic method, and we clearly understood that the quality of the questions will determine the quality of the experience. How quickly can I show an interest in the person that's talking to me? What does unity believe? One power, one presence. What do you believe? What do you think about that? Tell me about you. Why are you curious? The question now says, I'm extending a hand as opposed to backing away from you. I'm viewing you as a friend and not an adversary. Oh, we believe that God is expressing at the point of all creation. It's all one. How about you? What does your religion teach? And then manage the system between your ears when you hear something that you don't necessarily agree with. And then look for the words to build a bridge of understanding. And if no words are there of understanding, resist the urge to speak. You see, we're not responsible for the argument that could unfold. They're not responsible for the argument. We are responsible to be the living testimony of love. We shall be known by our fruits, not by our words, not by our ineloquent ability to try to convey something very, very simple that contextualizes our movement. One power, one presence, and it's good, and that good is at the point of all creation. Everything's one. And I remember that by aligning my thoughts, my feelings, and my belief system with the face of God. Everywhere I look, I find love. And then you have four fingers. Four fingers on both hands. And let me tell you, you want to build a bridge with a Christian, a Muslim, or a Jew, say, we believe in the power of prayer. These four fingers come together. What about you? It's really vitally important. That is a bridge, easy bridge. We believe in the power of prayer to know God. And then stop and put your ears on and listen and ask a better question. What about you? Tell me about your prayer practice. You're reaching out a hand as opposed to putting up a palm that says, I resist you. Because your flustering is going to come from this kind of energy. Your peace in the moment, and you will absolutely see the person on the other side of it respond in kind with an open hand, We believe in the power of prayer. Now, if you're with somebody you have assessed they can take it, we'll say prayer and meditation. But sometimes meditation, if you notice that, you bring up the word meditation, you've opened up a can of worms. Does it make them bad that it opened up a can of worms? No. I'm mindful about the words that I am using so that we can have a connection. We can have a common place. So let's review it. Put your fingers up in the air. There is one power and one presence. And that presence is expressing at the point of all creation. There's no duality. It's all God. But I talk too much. God is at the point of all creation. I know it with my thoughts. I know it with my feelings. And I know it with my belief system. And how do I know it? How do I keep awake? I'm in constant and diligent prayer. The master teacher Jesus said, go into the closet and pray. Do it in secret. And so we believe in the power of silence. But you're going to go into dangerous territory with somebody who's been trained to expose your weaknesses. So is it possible to say, oh, I have such a beautiful prayer practice? Because unity teaches the importance of prayer. There's no argument with that. And then out of our prayers, you have 5 fingers on both hands. And here's the place, I've never met a religious person at all who will ever argue with you. We believe in serving everyone. Love made visible. Find the words that work for you, because the words are less important than the bridge building. The material of the bridge you're about to build, the words, are less important than the fact that you are building a bridge. Now, we often say with that 5th unity principle that the truth I know is the truth that I demonstrate. Now, is that language that's going to meet a Christian? Demonstrate? What does that mean? So you find the words that work better to say, we believe in the power of service. We believe in serving others. Is there an argument with that? Can anybody think of an argument that might happen with that? There isn't one. And thus the elevator ride from the 1st floor to the 5th floor goes from being a living hell to just a moment of heaven. And let me tell you, how long it takes to get from floor 1 to floor 5 is going to depend on the consciousness that you're bringing to the dialogue. It's heaven or it's hell. And guess who is responsible for that? Not the person that's asking you about sin. Not the person that's asking you about the devil. They are not responsible. If you make them responsible for that dialogue, you have given all the power away. And you're saying, we have a dualistic system here. It's you and me against me against you. How fast can I get off this elevator? And I believe that through very simple responses that you have memorized and committed to heart, you're not looking for a card to inform you. Sitting in this room today are people who have very, very different belief systems, but at the core of it, there is one. Say that with me. There is one. There is only one at the point of all creation. My thoughts, my feelings, and my belief system are creating my reality. And I so believe in the power of prayer. And when I am prayed up, I can serve with love. Find the words that work for you. Don't rely on my words. Don't rely on the words that Unity has put out on a card, but find what those principles mean to you, how those principles are alive in you today. And yes, be ready. Be absolutely ready, because there's going to be an elevator somewhere that you're going to step onto, and it may not be as kind as Ray was. I asked Ray, when we were rehearsing for the skit today, Ray was really coming down on Lisa. And I said, soften it up a little bit. Let's ease into that. But there are people that are going to say, I'm praying for your immortal soul because you are going to hell. And you know what I've done? It's not necessarily a really good response. Oh, here in Unity, we've already been to hell. And we realized it wasn't so bad. Come on, let's battle. Let's do fight. Let's get my armor out, and let me get my sword out, and let's do battle. Let me tell you, you are not prepared to do battle with somebody who knows the Bible backwards and forwards and has memorized entire chapters. But you are prepared to create a bridge between you that looks like love, that looks like prayer, that looks like service, that looks like oneness. Now, here's a few questions you might get. I want to give you some very quick one-word answers to these, because these are the kinds of things that you will get on an elevator. Inevitably, as good as you are as the one-word answers, you'll find yourself going, a lot. Is Unity Christian? What's your answer? Yes. An emphatic yes. And then shut up. Yes, but. Yes, and not Christianity by the way somebody else has defined Christianity, but by the way you follow the master teacher's teachings. Can you be Buddhist and Christian at the same time? Well, of course you can. I always find it amusing when somebody says, oh, he's such a good Christian. Well, what is a bad Christian? I don't know what that is. Oh, is it a Buddhist? No. You can be Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, all at the same time. Is that going to build a bridge to say that? Or when somebody says, is it Christian, you can, in full integrity, with what we do here, we follow Christian ideas and principles and say yes, and then be quiet and put your ears on. How about you? The quality of the question will determine the quality of the elevator ride. Do you believe that Jesus is the Son of God? What do you think? Right. So Sylvia said the pat Unity answer that we always give. We all are. Bring it on. Let me get my armor. Let me get my sword. We all are. Yes, we believe that he is the Son of God, but so are you, and so am I. That's the pat answer that we always give, and guess what? You've opened up a field for a wall to go up. Is it possible to be in integrity and simply have an enjoyable ride of heaven, say yes, and then shut up? What about you? The hardest part of a spiritual path is to bite our tongue. Because the tongue is a dangerous, what is it, a spark that can set off a fire, it says in the book of James. In an elevator, you don't want to be setting off a fire, metaphorical or otherwise. Is it okay to say yes? Find a way for it to be okay to say yes. You may not even consider yourself the least bit Christian or that Jesus is the Son of God, but in your head you're playing the tape. Everybody is a child, a daughter of the Most High. You are the light of the world, and He told us that. So you play the tape on the inside, put the smile on and go, yes. What is the Bible? What about the Bible? What does Unity say about the Bible? Oh, we don't use the Bible. We don't pull the Bible out. We don't come to church with our Bible. Bring it on. Let's have an argument. Is that information that's necessary to build a bridge? No. Here is the word, what I give, and this is not necessarily very effective. It is the holy document showing the evolution of human consciousness. First of all, there's going to be a look like, what the hell did you just say? And then they'll go, hell, I know. How about this? The Bible is a beautiful roadmap for life. A beautiful textbook for life. And then stop. What do you think? What is the Bible to you? Oh, we've changed the dialogue, as opposed to falling over ourselves, trying to explain, well, that we believe in the Bible, we believe in the Bhagavad Gita, we believe in the Quran, and we study all the world texts. What good is that going to serve? Stop at, it is a beautiful roadmap for life. So here's a big one. How many people here are born again? Are you born again?
See, I can't, yes, but not in the way they're saying it.
Every minute. So, you think that we're going to build a bridge with Ray's character here, and he asks, are you born again? And we say, well, yes, I'm born again with every thought and every feeling and every action that I take. I am born anew, a new expression of the Christ that I am. The light is awakening within me. You have shut down the dialogue because they are prepared for you. They're looking for you, and they go, here we go. I found the opening. Yes, I am born again. Can that be in integrity? The thought that you just had is a renewal, is a rebirth. And then I can build a bridge. And what I found that if I can build a bridge in that moment, more information will be receptive from both sides of the bridge. Seek to understand first, not to be understood first. A very important prayer. How about this one? What about hell and heaven? We often say in unity, oh, hell and heaven are simply states of consciousness. Consciousness is not something that the Jewish, Muslim, and Christian world really talks about. Oh, it's a state of consciousness. They're going to look at you sideways and find their opening. Do you believe in heaven and hell? Say heaven and hell are here and now. And then shut up. Are you getting the idea that shutting up is probably a very good spiritual idea? That shutting up and putting our ears on and asking better questions is a greater pathway to the peace on earth. There will not be peace on the planet until there is peace among our religions. And rather than putting our hand up and dividing the people that think differently than we do, both religiously and politically, perhaps we can ask better questions and be a conduit for change, be a conduit for understanding. And whether it be from floor 1 to floor 5 on an elevator, or it be from day 1 to day 100 on this planet, we need to take responsibility for the truth that we are seeking, the peace that we are seeking, the love that we wish to be. Are you saved? Are you saved? Yes, I am saved from a belief in separation. I am saved from sickness. I am saved from poverty. You've opened up the field. Thank you so much for asking that question and caring about me. Yes. What about you? Does that change the whole dialogue? It changed the whole opportunity. What about evil? Here's a good thing to respond to when they say, what about evil? What about it? And you can say this, and I've not met a Christian who will argue with this. It is the absence of God. Now, in the unity mind, we're saying it's a belief in the absence of God because you cannot be separate from God. What good is it going to do? Let me speak the language. You're getting onto an elevator with somebody who speaks French and you speak Spanish. It is not their responsibility to speak Spanish. They care about your soul, your very existence, so incredibly deeply that they're going to say over and over and over and over again, parlez-vous français? And I will seek to understand French as opposed to just hitting them over the head with my Spanish and doing a terrible job of doing that. We meet people at the level of the love that they have come at us, even if it is ungraceful, even if it is looking like a personal attack. The view of it being personal attack is on you, not on them. You see, we don't give power away to anything outside of us here in the unity movement. The power resides within us. The master teacher was thrown into the midst of people attacking, people questioning, people challenging. Every single time, which is why he is our elder brother on our way shore, he went back to love. What would love do here? Because if it's not love, it's going to be fear. And your response coming from a place of fear is going to look a lot like what Lisa was doing here. I'm unskilled at giving you an answer. That certain person deserves your respect enough to give an answer that's informed, that's going to build a bridge. I'm going to put a quote up here from Charles Fillmore. Charles Fillmore is the co-founder of Unity, and I want you to read this today with me. Together? We have studied many isms. We have borrowed from the best of all religions, which is the reason we are called unity. Unity is not a sect. It is not a separation of people into an exclusive group of know-it-alls. Unity is the truth that is taught in all religions, simplified so that anyone can understand it and apply it. I love the word simplified. We complicate things to the point of bridges becoming walls. We have borrowed from everywhere. The Fillmores never, ever, ever intended unity to be a religious movement. Yet we have made it so when we get on the elevator and think that somebody's religion is less than ours. Well, they're not quite enlightened enough. If I'm seeing that person who's questioning me as unenlightened, I have made a judgment, and I'm not coming from a place of love. We are not exclusive in how truth can be found. And so when we say many paths, one God, it is sincere. Not just many paths, one God, just not that one. Just not yours. You're lost. You're broken. We become just another version of that person calling us lost and broken and in need of fixing. Is it possible to have the eyes of love such that when that person is talking about sin and the devil and Satan and eternal damnation and atonement, that we can go, love. I hear only love. I love the Charlie Brown cartoons where the teachers, wah, 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 wah. There's a lot of Unity people that when you're having a religious conversation with somebody, all you're hearing is wah, 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 sin, wah, 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 devil, wah, 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 eternal punishment. That's all you're hearing. I'm saying be the change you want to see and find some different ears. Find some different eyes and go, wah, 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 I hear love. Wah, 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 I hear somebody who cares about me. I receive the love, and I guarantee you that if you can change that simple flip of the switch in your head, there will be more love that will come at you. And you're going to have to come face to face with, I'm feeling defensive. Don't let the defensiveness come out of your mouth. I'm feeling inept. Don't let the ineptness come out of your mouth, but go, love. Nobody can argue with love, no matter the religious system. Unity is basically the pursuit of truth. And if we are to be sincere Unity students, we will look for the truth in the diatribe of dialogue that's on the elevator. I want you to take that on. We are students of truth. The Fillmores looked for truth in all the scriptures, in all of the great sages and prophets. We must follow their example and find the truth with the, what was it, echo? What was it, echo, Ray? What is that again? Extreme conservative, holy orthodox. And just saying those words, don't you have a visceral reaction? Ugh. Good, I need to heal that visceral reaction. I need to heal what is within me that put up a wall when I heard echo. And so I'm going to take this into a time of meditation. I'm going to invite Cecilia to make her way up to the platform. And as she does, I want you to review your elevator speech. First floor, what is it? One God. Second principle, God is one with all creation. Third principle, my thoughts, my feelings, and my belief system are creating my reality. Number 4, and I find too that prayer is so important. And out of my prayers, I serve the world in love. You can't argue with those. The shorter, the better. Find the words that work for you.